Okay, so if you want to pick up valuable skills for real estate development and you want to understand how to win, this is how you win. This is the steps you need to take to win. So, very first step you need to do, you need to start understanding your zoning. Uh, I am in the area of Charlotte, North Carolina, so sometimes zoning is called a UDO or Unified Development Ordinance. Other times it is just called zoning. So, how I found this, I did a search for Charlotte UDO. And after I did that search for Charlotte UDO, this is what came up. So, I'm going to teach you now how to use this to start the process of evaluation. Very important process. So, basically, for evaluation, if you don't know what land is worth, you shouldn't buy land. The only way you can find out what land is worth is to understand everything that can go on it. You can't understand what can go on it unless you look at zoning. So, if you don't understand zoning, you can't decipher zoning, then you can't get a proper valuation by yourself. So, we're going to take some steps to teach you how to do that. So, first thing you're going to do, Google your city or town and say, City of Buffalo, New York, zoning ordinance, or UDO. There's going to be links that come up. You may have to search through a few of them, but you're going to come up with one of these. So what you want to look for first of all in your zoning ordinance, so we're going to start with the basics first. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to scroll down. You're going to look for residential zoning districts, or these are your neighborhood zoning districts. So you'll see there are two different chapters, chapter 4 and chapter 5. In this one, this is your general neighborhood districts. This is your higher density neighborhood zoning districts. So neighborhood zoning could be everything from single family up to apartment buildings. They're all residential. So we're going to start with the low hanging fruit. So this starts in chapter 4, and we're going to see these districts and you're going to understand how to decipher your districts. So let's jump to it. I think the right page for this, for chapter 4, I believe is 100. Nope, I went too far. I think 75 actually. 75. Okay, here we are, chapter 4.4. Okay, in the beginning, it's going to give you the definition for each one of your districts. Usually, districts are arranged by the size of the lot that you need to be in that district. So, the bigger the lot, the lower the density. So, what I mean is, if you need 10,000 square feet for a lot, then you can't get as many as if you need 3,000 square feet for a lot. So, it's going to dictate that to you. So, I'll show you, like this one. N1A, Neighborhood 1 zoning district. N1A zoning district allows for development of residences on dwelling lots of 10,000 square feet or greater. So you need a minimum of 10,000 square foot lot in order to develop those lots. As we jump down a few, we go to N1D. N1D zoning district allows for development of residential dwellings on lots of 4,000 square feet or greater. So if I had 100,000 square feet to develop, and it's all zoned N1A, which requires 10,000 square feet, then the max I can get is 10. However, if I have the same 100,000 square feet and it's zoned N1D, then the max I can get is 25. So density matters. The smaller lot that you need, the greater the density for the property. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you understand all of these districts. N1A needs 10,000 square feet. N1B needs 8,000. N1C needs 6,000. N1D needs 4,000. N1E only needs 3,000 square feet. You may not understand the importance of this right now, but you will understand the importance of it later, because the more units you can fit, the greater you can increase the value to. So we want density. So the first thing you're going to do is find your districts like these right here. Very important second step. We're not going to go to the second step yet, but the next thing is uses. Article 15 lists the permitted temporary accessory uses for neighborhood 1 zoning districts. Use definitions are found in Article 15. Uses is what you can do. Now, some zoning ordinances are going to tell you what you can do right here. It's just going to tell you single family, duplex, triplex, apartment, blah, 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 blah. It's going to tell you everything you can do. Sometimes they have a whole separate chart, which is your uses chart or your uses matrix or your uses table. And that's going to tell you what you can actually do. So you need not only the compliance for the lot, but what can you actually do there? So as we scroll down, we're going to get into the actual specifications of the lot. This particular zoning ordinance in Charlotte is pretty easy to read because it has letters to tell you different things. Okay, it has letters that tell you different things. So, like we said earlier, it says minimum lot area. Remember, N1A, 10,000. And then it has N1B, C, D. So this table basically tells you, hey, if you have an N1A lot and it's not 10,000 square feet, then it's non-compliant. It doesn't comply. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily you can't build on it. If it was possibly built or made before the introduction of this ordinance, it's probably fine. But you can't make a new lot now in N1A that's less than 10,000 square feet and build on it. You can have a lot that's less than 10,000 square feet, but you just may not be able to build anything on it. So make sure you understand that. So A, minimum lot area. So you see the A here, it's pointing at the rectangle, and that rectangle's all, so that's the area that you need to build in. B is minimum lot area, non-residential. We don't have that situation. We're not looking at non-residential right now. So we're going to skip that. Minimum lot width, residential in feet. So that's C. So C is the actual lot, the width of your lot. That's how wide it must be. So compliance for N1A is two things, 10,000 square feet and 70 feet wide. Okay? So it has to have both. You must comply with both of those, 10,000 square feet and 70 feet wide. When you get over here to N1D, it's 3,500 square feet and only 40 feet wide. And then D, minimum lot width non-residential. Again, we're not worried about that. And then E, another thing we're not worried about right now is maximum building coverage. So it says for lots 10,000 square feet or greater, it's 40%. Lots of less than 10,000 square feet, it's 50%. So what that means is if a lot is less than 10,000 square feet, like this one's 3,500, and it says the lot coverage area is 50%. So if the lot is 3,500 square feet, then I can cover 1,750 of it with stuff. Now, that doesn't mean I can't go up 3 and 4 stories. That means just the base can be covered with that. Again, not super important now, but we'll get to it. As we scroll down, it talks to building sitting, or what you're going to know as setbacks. Setbacks are the measurements that tell you how far from a boundary you can actually build. So, right here, minimum front setback from street. So that same side that the frontage is on, where you have the A listed here, these are going to be your setbacks. So on that 10,000 square foot lot, you need 27 feet from here to here. But as you go down that front setback, you can get closer and closer to the street because these are going to be more urban areas. So when you get down to N1E, you only need to be 10 feet from the street. It's how close you can build your house. Now, minimum corner side setback. This is B. These are in situations where you have, this is a corner lot. This is an interior lot. So a corner lot is what it sounds like. It's on a corner. You have two sides that are available to you. In one side, they make a little bit longer setback because when traffic comes up, you don't want this to crowd the corner so much so you can't see around the corner. So your side setback is usually half of what your front setback is, but in this situation, it's different. So on N1A and N1B, that side setback on that corner lot is 13.5 feet, which is exactly half of the 27 feet. On these lots that are N1C, D, E, and F, it's 10 feet. It's not half, a little more than half. The other setback you have is your side setback. So that is the distance between your lot line and the side. So that is C. And in all of these, your minimum side setback is 5 feet. So if my side setback is 5 feet and my neighbor's side setback is 5 feet, then the closest any two houses should be together is 10 feet apart because they have 5 and you have 5. Pretty simple. Rear setback or rear yard setback. This is how far in the backyard of your house that you cannot build anything. That's the house. Now, can you have other structures, garages, ADUs back there? Yes, they will dictate when you can do that, but your house can't go that far back in the setback. So, N1A, 40 feet. N1B, 35, 30, 25, 20, 20. So that's just how far you can build into your backyard. Now, all of these numbers, what they do is you take a lot that's a rectangle and you say, okay, you can't build in this setback, you can't build in this setback, you can't build in this. And then what that dictates to you is what's called a building footprint. That's how you know, well, how much of this can I actually cover? And then you take your height restriction, you say, okay, cool, I can go 40 feet, 4 stories. You can tell pretty much what's possible to build on your lot. So these are the basics that you need to understand about your zoning. Over here, district building height standards. So this is going to tell you the maximum height for residential. 48 feet, 48 feet, 40, 40, 40, and then 48 feet. That tells you how tall you can actually build. So these are all the things that you need to know and understand about your zoning. I will show you in another video how you make money with this. But this is what you need to know and understand about zoning. Okay, make sure you guys get this figured out.